What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. This video is directed to the Xbox affiliates, aficionados, Xbox fans, and so on and so forth. One thing I want to recommend is that we actually look at the economic value of what Xbox has been doing lately. So if the conversation were to ever come up as to say why an Xbox game is no longer going to be exclusive to some of the Xbox ecosystems, I want you to realize that there's a history of what has pretty much brought Xbox to its current position today. And Xbox is not going to fail to repeat that history because it's worked out for them. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's definitely going to keep working out if they continue with that particular action statement or paradigm. Now, what I mean by this is if you actually go on the internet right now, you're going to see a lot of people who I think are having a problem or an issue with Xbox bringing its games to other platforms like the Nintendo Switch with the rumor of Hi-Fi Rush and then the rumor of Indiana Jones. These are just rumors, by the way, and people are already losing their mind. I mean, I'm literally commenting on some videos and I'm getting some very interesting replies and so on and so forth. And it's very interesting to see. And this is why I said we must look at economics and market factors if we are going to make sense of this. But even before you go watch yourself and a whole economics video, you have to ask yourself, why did Xbox even start bringing its games outside of the Xbox ecosystem to other platforms in the first place? Because right now, as much as many of you may be saying, Xbox needs to stay within its ecosystem, there was once upon a time a game like Starfield would not have come to the PC platform. Why? Because a game like Quantum Error actually spent about 6 months or so in exclusivity for the console only. Look at it here. Quantum Break, a single-player third-person shooter developed by Remedy with assistance from Asobo, published by Xbox Game Studios, served as a publisher for The Division, and Nordic Games was the retail release. The game was first released via Microsoft Store April 5th, 2016, and later via Steam September 29th of the same year. Xbox did not used to bring its games day one to PC. It didn't do that for all its games. It was eventually that they opened up this whole thing and said, you know what, let's just go crazy, because it made sense that software sales was going to carry them through the decimation that they were going through with PlayStation pretty much being dominant in the market. In fact, if you come to this post here on Quora from about 6 years ago, there's a question here. Someone is saying, why would I even own an Xbox One anymore since I can now play Xbox exclusives on Windows? Because people started to see this market shift. So what was the reason, you must ask yourself, for making Xbox go and start putting its games on PC? Number one, they wanted to get the software sales that they could not leverage on their consoles. Most console players are not really buying the consoles to play a lot of these exclusives as their primary reason. As we've seen from PlayStation's numbers, they're playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft, and a very select set of games. So the other games usually by default will suffer, especially when there's a plethora of games on the platform. Hence, you have to find a way to sell your own software as a console manufacturer to be able to increase your sales and be more profitable. So when I see these posts of people basically being against Xbox, moving a game like Hi-Fi Rush to the Nintendo Switch, I start to, laugh, because I think it's really interesting to see how many of these folk have abandoned the fact that PlayStation themselves have also looked at this and said, this might be a really good thing to do, seeing that they now have a series of timed exclusives that they are now also bringing to PC. Do you see exactly what is going on in the industry? Do you see what's going on in the shift? And I'm sure that a lot of PlayStation folk who are actually touting this and do not want this to happen have maybe put themselves in a position where they thought PlayStation was coming into this particular ecosystem of being stronger with the mindset that they were going to keep things exclusive. When Phil Spencer already said, when it comes to Bethesda games, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Here's the case-by-case basis right now in full-fledged action, and y'all are starting to have a spasm with it. So at the end of the day, one of the biggest challenges that we must face is we must understand what is the economic reality. The economic reality is demand and supply. You can no longer, in today's day and age, count on a lot of people to go buy a console when they want to play a video game. They'll just find a way to play that game by getting a PC and emulating it if you're Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo Switch is not immune from emulation. And even their days are numbered. What Nintendo Switch has enjoyed, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying, well, okay, then Nintendo Switch should do the same as well. Nintendo Switch has been vibing since 1989. Some of you were not born in 89. I was a little kid. I'll probably still potty training by 1989. I mean, maybe some of you are older than me, but I don't think many of you are in the Video Game Fight School channel. The demographics say otherwise. It says you weren't born then, for most of you. So what are you talking about? That's people have been enjoying Nintendos since then. Your grandparents played Nintendos. I mean, yes, that was one of the cool things that came out in the day, and some of them had the expenditure to buy it. So when they were buying stuff for their kids, and when the kids were saying, Dad, I want Mario, I want Zelda, the grandparents are buying it for the kids for birthday parties. I went to a birthday party last year when Mario Wonder came out. And one of the gifts that came from the grandparents to my friend's kid was Mario Wonder, brand new. See, this is not something where you can open your mouth and say that about Nintendo. You got to really look at the way their market proposition works. And PlayStation and Xbox, they are not in the same category as Nintendo. So you need to leave Nintendo out of the conversation. You just have to, because you see that they have that unique selling point. As I'm speaking with you right now, I'm on this video making a video. My children are playing on the Nintendo Switch. By the way, 2 of them have a gaming PC, yet their gaming PCs are off and basically collecting dust, and they're all over there taking turns playing Mario Kart. Okay? I'm not joking. My children's gaming PCs, they're my old PCs, and they're still really good because I buy production builds, stuff that I can do game development. One of them is a laptop that can do game development. I gave it to my 7-year-old. I gave the other one to my other kid. All my kids are under 10 years old. They have gaming PCs that people will be envious of. Now, this is work stuff that I've, basically discontinued from, my work. But ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled with the way Nintendo games are very attractive to kids. So when you say PlayStation has that proposition or whatever, I laugh because on their PCs, they have the games that they love. They have the games that they enjoy, but they don't have those Nintendo games. Ooh, delicious, right? So you really have to go ahead and think about it. As I said this, I think one of my kids just fired up their computer because I see their Steam account. It just fired up their Lego Marvels game, which is also another game they play, on their game days. They have specific game days. They play, Lego Marvels. Those are games that are attractive to children. Hi-Fi Rush also has that effect. There's no doubt about that. Have you played Hi-Fi Rush in front of kids before? You should see the reactions. I wish I had a camera the day I fired up Hi-Fi Rush. My kids were like, whoa, they were singing and jumping and dancing. There is no sensibility. I don't know what is going on, folk. The strength that Xbox has is understanding social aspects and infusing themselves into it. Phil Spencer would be the guy that would sit down with a pair of jeans and talk to gamers. Sarah Bond will talk to gamers. That's Xbox's power right now, just being able to read the room. It's people on Twitter here that are just not reading the room. I literally had somebody just block me because they asked the question. They said, what is the motivation of Xbox making their way to all these other consoles? And I said, the motivation is sales. You all want to cripple Xbox. They blocked me. It's a little kid. I went and looked at their account. There he is. He's blocked me. He's a little kid. You're blocked. You see, these children nowadays don't know anything. When I was walking to some random corner in third world Nigeria to go play a Sega, nobody knew that a Sega would not be an existing hardware anymore. And because of these little market mistakes that have been made in the past, these kids want Xbox to repeat history again so that they can go out of business. You don't know what you're talking about. The laws of demand and supply dictate otherwise. That in markets, there are forces that pull for different things. And right now, the winning formula is if you can get game and software sales. In fact, there are companies that don't make a single hardware and are more profitable and are bigger than Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo. Insert Tencent. Now, the others may not be bigger, but they are big enough and massive, and they don't even have much hardware. They don't even have much software. But boy, do they have strong software and strong software sales. Insert Rockstar. Oh, in fact, they have so much in terms of sales, right? And in terms of profitability from just sales having no hardware, that it caused a halt in all of the gaming industry for an entire year and a half or more. Insert Activision. Well, why do you think they went and bought Activision? So that they could sell more Xbox consoles? I don't even know what to say. Look at the big picture. This is not a matter of kumbaya, as what's his name put it, Gaz put it. He came on here and he had a post, and I thought this was very interesting. Because the post was, in my opinion, I thought it was a little short-sighted that he didn't look at the big picture. I'll show you the post. He says, well, and this is to Xbox's leadership, well, then make it clear whether a game is exclusive or not from the outset. Xbox P3, this is Phil Spencer's account, by the way. On the one hand, we get this mixed kumbaya messaging that more people across platforms playing your exclusives are great. It's not kumbaya messaging. It's true. It's true. And it's true because they moved from doing this so-called exclusivity thing to seeing that, boy, there's money and there's profit and we can stay in the game for a little longer till we get our feet in place. And they're saying messaging that more people across platforms, and they're just a marketing beat. They're not. They're also an investor beat. You see, and let me keep reading. On the other hand, Servon proudly announces exclusivity because Starfield is exclusive to Xbox as a console exclusive. But again, like I said, ask yourself why they went to PC in the first place. Why didn't they just keep it on the Xbox console and say, come play on the Xbox? Hardware is limited. You play the 30 FPS version on the console if that's all you have. But on PC, you play and get a better experience. And this schizophrenia is what he's calling it around the messaging is annoying. There's a lot of politics going on. They got to dabble around. They got to look poor. If not, regulators will be on their tail. They want to win. They want to dominate the market. Many of you don't realize Xbox wants to dominate the market. And PlayStation has a lot of pull. Shoot, Jim Ryan had friends in the, I don't know if he has friends in the CMA, but he was flying to the CMA and talking to all these regulators who looked at the evidence and were like, get the flip out of here. It was only the CMA and the FTC that were causing problems. FTC, their motivations were political. CMA, their motivations were, I don't know what the heck it was, but they just were delaying and dragging their feet. And it says this, and the position of core Xbox fans is clear. Leverage the value proposition of the Xbox ecosystem. Now that you've forsaken consoles. Who said they forsook consoles? They're bringing out another console. They just brought out another one. Again, did they not just bring out a new Xbox Series Series S that's 1 terabyte? Man, some of these folk need to calm down, man. Leverage the value proposition of the Xbox ecosystem. Now that you've forgotten consoles as your central focus by having faith in the brand and ensuring exclusivity. No, you core Xbox fans, all you do is you're here on Twitter. Let me give you guys a recommendation, core Xbox fans. Sign up for Professor Jonathan Gruber's econ class that he taught at MIT. It's on YouTube for free. It's about 27 videos, core Xbox fans. I would require that you actually take your time. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can come and read the notes that people have basically taken. Some people have done the work for you and you can skim through, right? So this way, you can pretty much realize that in economics, you really got to be modifying your model to move forward. And Xbox has not been afraid of modifying its model, even though they have to dabble around the politics. While PlayStation is over here basically dancing around what is reality. I'm still getting a lot of responses on my comments on Twitter. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm asking people these questions and you should see their responses. Let me read one for you. Somebody said this. They said something about Steam storefronts and blah, blah, blah. This is somebody bringing out a different argument when I said, how does that affect farming dollars in extra sales on the PlayStation platform? And this person says it could affect the platform from being able to attract users to its own ecosystem. The new narrative will begin to be buy a PS, games from Xbox come there eventually anyways. You won't miss out on anything. That costs them a potential Game Pass subscriber anytime that happens. How? There's Game Pass for PC. And I said, really? Then why is PlayStation leaving the exclusivity business one frame at a time? Why is PlayStation calling Game Pass plus Activision a threat? Why is PlayStation seeing Xbox delivery to PC, mobile, and console as a threat? The narrative doesn't matter. Profits matter. And you're going to see this shifting of the goalpost. They're doing that because PC is its own thing. It's obvious that's the case because everything on Xbox is day and date, and they're still tracking about the same as last gen. Sony calls Xbox a threat because it could lose the casual box title with COD day and date. That's not only the case because of Activision and Game Pass. At the end of the day, all the consoles that Sony has, they're just buying your average sports COD title, maybe an occasional RPG. All you have to do is look at the top 10 sellers for the past year, and that's the case. Exactly. You proved my point. So go find people to play and buy your non-COD games. PlayStation is doing it with PC. Xbox is doing it with PC and wants to do it with Switch and PlayStation if possible. See, you'll end up eventually coming full circle to the economic reality. It doesn't matter what you do. You can play games. You can dance around it. I mean, you got to realize that selling the software is where the money is at. This is not an argument that will make any sense at the end of the day. Everyone is still locked into this whole brand thing. The brand of gaming right now is AMD and NVIDIA and Intel. Stop fooling yourselves, man. It's AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel, bro. It's not Microsoft, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. No. The brands are the software. That's what makes the money. The money. That's how these companies work, man. I've told y'all. These companies are not here to basically just, soothe your feelings. They're here to make money. Once you approach them from that perspective, you'll get the very best benefit from all of them because you realize that that's all they want. So you will leverage it. You're the winner here. The consumer, you are the winner. You call the shots. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.